Hi guys, this is my Hoya Shepherdii, and this is an update from the unboxing. So this is the first vlog for this particular plant. Everything that I'm using for this plant will be in the description section, including the substrate or the medium, which is this. If you are new to gardening, and especially indoor gardening, this is a rock or chunky. There are different kinds of names for it. This is my homemade or DIY pond. I made the mix myself, and this is in a self-watering pot, which is a semi-hydro system. And this is the water level, so this will tell you how much water is in there, if you need to water it, or if you don't. So, and also everything else that I am using for this particular plant will be in the description section. So if you're curious, you're interested, check it out. My social media accounts are in the description section as well. So I hope that you enjoy that. And don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and of course the bell so you're notified every single time I do upload a new video. So I just got this plant, and she does look kind of dirty. I'm kind of worried to clean her up because one of the other plants I was cleaning, it kind of tore, and as you can see, her leaves are really narrow and really long, so I'm kind of worried that I will hurt her. So I'm going to try to probably acclimate her a little bit before I will try to do that and be a little bit more confident. Usually when it's like a fragile, for me anyway, a fragile size or type of leaf, I usually like maybe do 1 or 2 leaves at a time when I'm brave enough. And you know, it takes a while to get there, and sometimes I just ignore it and just wait for the newer growth, which would be clean, because I do not water above the leaves. I usually water directly. I am experimenting with the foliar spray that I did make my own recipe, so that could stain the leaves as well. So we shall see what happens with this one. Currently she sits in a west facing window, about, I would say, 4 to 5 inches away from that window. If it is a very cloudy day, I will supplement with LED plant light. And again, everything that I'm using, including the equipment that I'm using, will be in the description section, including the pot, what I use with the water to water her with, all that good stuff. So if you're curious on the substrate, that's all that too. This is, like I said, this is an update from the unboxing, and there has no new growth yet. She hasn't been with me much longer than less than a month. So I just, you know, maybe a week or 2, or I don't even, honestly, I don't know. So don't even get that. But this is her first vlog. There has been no growth yet. She is still acclimating to her new surroundings, her new home, her new everything. So this is what she looks like, and I want to document it as much as possible because I want to see the improvement, you know, especially with new growth or just with me. There is a leaf right here that I'm a little bit concerned because every day I do look at it and it's still really wrinkly. I did check the root system on that already, and it seems pretty healthy to me, so I'm just keeping an eye on that one. Again, all of these came when I got her, so all the blemishes came with her from the previous home. I don't know what happened to that, and that's okay. Sometimes it could just be, you know, watering, and they could have been misted, or there's a humidifier next to it, or they were watered and then they were getting direct sunlight or direct light when there's still beads of water in there, and that could actually make the leaves like burn like that because of that. That's from personal experience, and so I'm sharing with that too, like these. So she has this extra vine, which is so great. I think one of them, though, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think one of them or 2 of them were bent during transit, so that's kind of a shame. But you know, you can always hope for the best, and I'm just making sure that she does acclimate well, she's happy in her new environment. I want to talk about the self-watering because I do get questions about this a lot. So the self-watering, I have been using self-watering for a really long time now. I would say probably 10 years since I started doing gardening. So I only have successfully used it with my orchids, and that's the only thing I had. I've used what I do know in regards to using self-watering or hydroponic and stuff like that is that what works best is something like a chunky mix. You don't want, for my personal experience anyway, and this is my suggestion and advice, you don't have to take it, you don't have to follow what I did, but I don't want anybody to lose any plants. So Orchid Bark is really good because it's chunky. Rocks or pond are really good, or pebbles are really good because it's chunky as well. Leca can be very good. I have never tried Leca, so I can't really guarantee about that. But due to how it is, it's just clay balls, and they're also different sizes, I think. Or I honestly don't know much about Leca, but what I do know is that it can't become dense. The thing that I read about Leca was that it slowly deteriorates, so it can go kind of bad at a certain point because it slowly crumbles or something like that. I don't know the speed. So like I said, I have zero experience with Leca. I have used this, and I have used Orchid Bark. And Orchid Bark is, you know, naturally bark, so it will slowly deteriorate, but it takes a really long time. These supposedly, you know, they're natural rocks, so if they do crumble, it will take such a long time. So this is what I use. This is what I do. When I water, I follow the gauge right here, which says max, and I hit the max line. If it's a little bit under, I'm cool with that. If it's a little bit above, I am not. I will take that off. The reason is I never want to do over. I have experience with that. Even if you put a little bit over when it comes to the water line, that will definitely kill your plant. It will oversaturate the root system, and I don't want to risk that, so I will just take it off. This self-watering pot is really wonderful because I can yank it off like this, and I can drain it. What I could do is, if I do add more water than I want to, is I could just take the water out easily. And I really, really like that type of self-watering pot, and I would suggest anybody to do that. You don't really have to. There are other self-watering pots in which there's no insert to that. The thing is that you have to pour the water out. I would not suggest to go over the max line. For me, using these the pond, or the homemade pond that I made, is I wait till it reaches the minimum, and I look at the top part. If the rocks have paled in color, especially the green one, if that becomes light green, so this is dark green, that means it's wet. This is light green, that means it's dry. See that when I flip it over, it's wet underneath, and the top one is light. So when there is none of this color and it's in the minimum, I will water. But if it is still in the dark green, I will not water, and that is because the rocks are already telling you that it's still damp or moist or wet. I would not suggest you water it until, like, give it a day. It usually takes about a day for it to dry out, and it just goes away. And that when it becomes light, then I water it again, and I water it to the max. This one so far, I mean, there's not much to tell except for just right after the unboxing, transplanted her in this one. I had to take a ton of the substrate that she was wrapped in there. It was very frustrating. If I'm not mistaken, this could have been the one with the sphagnum moss. I don't know, but it wasn't my favorite. I don't really understand when people do that, but I took that out, and I put it in pond. I could be mistaken, like, again, but so this is what I do. And these sticks, if you want to do that, I like to trellis my Hoyas rather than let it dangle downwards, and that's a personal preference. You don't have to do that. If you prefer it to be a hanging pot or hanging planter, that's up to you. I don't really prefer to do that because I like, you know, I like pots like this. I like pots with a saucer. I don't really like to hang them. It's just my personal preference, and I prefer to growing them upwards. So this is what I did, and let's just inspect everything. I don't believe there's a peduncle, or a peduncle, sorry, I said it wrong, or an umbel. So if you're new to Hoyas, I am very new to Hoyas as well. A peduncle or an umbel is where the flowers come from, and they are Hoyas are epiphytic, so they're very similar to orchids. I do have years of experience with orchids, so I'm kind of a little bit familiar with it. This is like a dead, like, vine right here. Oh God. That was driving me crazy. So basically these in nature, naturally what they do is that they're not really, they grow, they climb on trees. They're a trailing or climbing plant, just like an orchid. So they enjoy constant humidity and constant moisture because they grow in Southeast Asia. And I think some Hoyas grow in Australia naturally too. So constant humidity, constant moisture, but they don't want to sit in water or be damp or anything like that. So doing Hoyas in soil or like a chunky, I made my own Hoya Chunky mix, which was a part perlite, orchid bark, and cactus soil. And unfortunately, my Hoyas were dying. Not this one. This one is only in pond. So ever since then, I just kind of thought I would switch it to pond so I can expand my Hoya collection. And so far, everyone's been very happy, including me. So, yeah, I think I really love this system, and I'm going to stay in this system unless otherwise. But so far, my Hoyas are doing really well in it. I actually noticed some new growth today in one of my Hoyas that has only been in this kind of system, self-watering or semi-hydro, and also in pond. So this is what it is, and I will update this plant vlog whenever I would say she would have like at least one growth and see what happens or what I did that made that happen, if in case I was a big part of it. But anyway, I will be doing that as usual. If you guys have any tips, questions, anything to do with this particular plant, let me know down below in the comment section below. As I have said, I am new to Hoyas. My knowledge of Hoyas is very, very minimum. I just have done trial and error and my own personal research. So if you have more knowledge, of course, share it down below so we can all enjoy that. Anything else, guys, let me know in the comment section. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.